Hi there YouTube, my name is Morseed America. I'm playing on the Japanese PSO2 and this video title and thumbnail should hint at it. I am making my last Guardian Soul piece that has a bunch of all-rounder abilities and they're big boys. But yeah, here's the thing though, this piece is not at an 8 slot, but I am going to get it into an 8 slot. This is going to be another future video that will emphasize on what I will do in this video. Note that this video is not noob friendly. If you are new to Augmenting and Affixing, I advise you to look into the description and watch the Affixing 101 playlist that I made. Also, to understand this video, there are very specific videos that you would need to understand, especially in terms of certain items that have a certain concept behind it, also understanding the special ability transfer process, and several other things. If you want to see the videos where I made these other unit pieces, especially with the Guardian Soul with all these other things, you can look in the description for that. And also note, when it comes to me making this piece in itself, I already did it in a stream or several streams. I already made the formula in one stream, and then I started to make these pieces, these fodder pieces that I need to finalize it and make a Guardian Soul at the Factor Crack 5, Returner 5, and Absolute Glare. Once again, this video is not going to explain every little thing. That's why I already made those videos that are going to emphasize on those various points. Also note that I did indirectly hint to those who are playing on global why you would want to do certain things like get a bunch of ability transfer passes, because guess what? To do this, it will eat up a good 125 fucking passes. I have roughly around 130 plus passes, but this is just for one unit piece, mind you, and this is just to push it to an 8 slot. If you were doing it for several other pieces as well, especially at an 8 slot, you'll eat up a lot of passes. Just to use, or just to do ability transfer passes and get it to an 8 slot, it doesn't matter if it's a weapon or unit, it will cost you 100. So if you want to work with 3 unit pieces and try to do this safely, like get a bunch of good ass abilities and slowly build it up safely without having to gamble or anything, to an 8 slot, you need 100 passes. And if you do it for all unit pieces, guess what? 100 times 3, 300 passes. If you do it for a weapon as well, add another 100 to that. You got 400 fucking passes you need. So, if you want to get right into it, look in the description for that time skip. Let me explain why I chose these abilities. Now, it is important to note that I play on the Japanese PSO2. Because I play on the Japanese PSO2, we have access to certain augments abilities that Global does not have. Hopefully you guys get the certain abilities, but receptors are really good. Like, yes, it's not going to give you 100% in terms of transferring at the factor with a factor receptor, but it's better than fucking nothing, and also this kind of helps you make some of these all-rounder abilities. And that's what I did with Factor and Guardian Soul. I allowed those two abilities to stay together. Once again, you can see that demonstration when I do it on stream. So, why did I get Factor in this? There is a pop item for it. I could have left this unit piece at a 4 slot with Guardian Soul, Absolute Glare, Returner 5, and a Crack 5. The reason why I push it to a 5 slot and I wanted Factor is because, one, I save badges. I don't need to have another pop item to to just get Factor. I can save that 120 medals. If you don't know what I'm referring to, I already mentioned it in a separate video, especially with the currencies and how the shop will update itself and give you guys these pop items. Second thing is the fact that I am saving passes, because if I do leave it at a 4 slot, it's going to be hard, or it's going to cost a lot more ability transfer passes to get from a 4 slot all the way up to a fucking 8 slot. It's going to eat up too many goddamn passes. I don't want to do some calculations right now, but there's too many steps involved, and if I lower it down and add like another slot here and add like an factor, it's not going to hurt me. It's going to help me save my passes. So, that is why I did what I did over here. And you might be saying, Morph, how did you get Returner 5s? Or over there in Global, it's called Veteran Resolve. Here's the thing, and I will mention this in a history lesson video, especially with my rant and my dislike for fucking abduction. But the thing about abduction is that originally, before they released this new mode over here in the Japanese PS2 that allows you to farm for Returner, Veteran Resolve, the only way to farm for this goddamn ability was through abduction. Yeah. Now, here's the thing about abduction. It is RNG manifested into like a fucking darker or a notorious villain, because abduction, it's not going to guarantee you like an abduction right away. No, you have to spam time attacks, and you have to spam it in X amount of time. Some people are able to do it a couple times and then they get abducted. Some people, they have, they do it a certain limit and then sometimes they get abducted midway through it. But the thing is, it's different for everyone. Because I tried to, one, do a test for it. It did not work out well. I hated it. But secondly, when I talked to a bunch of people and when I did runs in the past, especially for mod farming with that, it's just that it's random. Like, you'll be stuck doing it and the rewards aren't that great, because the problem with a returner 3 out of 1 slot is you're gonna need another fucking returner out of 1 slot to try to transfer it. Not only that, you are now gambling because it's a returner 3 out of 1 slot, and if you're trying to upgrade it to higher grades, it's going to be a pain in the butt. And then not only that, you're dealing with the up slot penalty, and then you have to try to go to the certain number that you're working for. So if you want to get like a returner 5 out of 4 slot, like if you want to make something like this, if you're farming time attack abductions, you need a lot of fucking returner 3s to do that, and hopefully you can get there safely. But if it fails in that process, guess what? You're gonna need to farm for it all over again. So they're not easy to go for. But because of this new mode over here in the Japanese PSO2, it tackles that in. That kind of gave a big hint giveaway in terms of how I was able to kind of predict some things, and also hinting at what PSO2 is going to do in terms of augmenting or fixing. But yeah, I made this thing. So, enough of my chit chat. Once again, to understand this video, you need to watch those videos. If you are new to augmenting or fixing, I advise you to get into the basics, watch my fixing playlist 101, because to get into this sort of, this work, this advanced shit, you need to understand the basics. Any fucking person that excels well in their craft went to the basics and understood the basics and broke it down and like maybe developed something new out of it, or they just like, you know, capitalized on it and just went further beyond whatever they were taught. So that's the same thing with augmenting and fixing. But anyways, that is your call though. If you don't want to get too invested in it, if you want to try to copy me, go ahead and do that. It's just that, once again, you need to understand. And like, if you need to understand it, then those videos will break it down for you. So, I'm trying to make this as short as possible compared to my other videos where it's like fucking 30 minutes long. Here's the thing. I do not want to try to do this. I want to move everything to this 8 slot, yes. But if I try to do this, you'll realize that when I select something like this and when I select everything, it's not going to turn out well because it's not filling up everything. So if I hit yes, it's going to decrease it. It's going to force this to a 7 slot and that's it. I can't work with it anymore. So the way around this is to actually cut corners a bit. Now you can either go +1 or +2. If you decide to go to +2, note that the next move you will do is going to be a +1. But for me to save a good chunk of passes, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave it at a 6 slot. So what I'm going to do is go over here, select this piece, pop an item. I'm going to pop a mana rev. Actually, sorry about that. I actually chose that wrong. Make sure that you select it as the main piece. I had the 13 star as the main piece still. So let's go to the unit. Let me select that 6 slot. Let me select this. Let me pop a mark. Now I am using Joyo for this because this RM piece does emphasize on HP, and why not? I'm going to emphasize a bit further on that. So I'm going to have Guardian Soul. I'm going to have an Effector. I'm going to have a... Guardian Soul, Absolute Glare, Effector, a Returner 5, Crack 5. Well, let's put a mark within that. So as you can see, this unit piece is already at a 6 slot. It's going to destroy all these pieces. I'm going to make that sub card back into, 0 slot. But hey, look, I don't mind whatsoever. And when I do this in itself, it's just going to eat up 25 passes. Note that if you do decide to skip from a 5 slot to a 7 slot, you are using 50 passes. And if you use 50 passes, and then you go from a 7 slot to an 8 slot, you're using 150 passes in total. Me doing this process over here, I'm saving 25 passes. So I'm going to hit yes, make sure that I got everything. Guardian Soul, Absolute Glare, Effector, Mark, Joyo, Returner 5, Crack 5. So those are all my important pieces. I say yes. And this is where we can finalize this. So I'm going to select this 8 slot now. Note that this will only work, like going another number, going from a 6 slot to an 8 slot. This works if it's at 13-star unit and it has an SSA. So I'm going to select this piece over here, this arm. I'm going to select this piece over here. Going to use a pop item. Have attack up 2 already. Going to put, what is it, Guardian? So Absolute Glare, Mana Rev, Artifactor. Going to have Mark Joyo, Returner, and a Crack. So now this is 8 slot. Now this is finalized. It has everything that I want. I did not have to destroy anything. I will destroy that piece that was originally at, what, a 6 slot. However, I do need to pull a bit of Meseta out. So let me go over here to the NPC to get a bit of grinders, or sell a bit of grinders, and then we are done. And I finished my last unit piece. That's how easy it is. And note that when it comes to me making this piece, compared to the other 2 pieces that I made, this cost me roughly below 5 mil. I think it's roughly below 5 mil, but it did not exceed past like a stupid number like 20 mil. Yep, this is what happens when you know what you're doing. This is what happens when you farm for your shit as well. I know, it's S-class ability, my bad. Gotta go over here, gotta go over here, gotta go over here, gotta select this thing over here. Nope, that is wrong. You want to make sure you pop it. Because if you don't, then you're just gonna get this destroyed. So once again, Guardian Soul, Absolute Glare, Mana Rev, Artifactor, Mark Joy, Returner, and Crack 5. All that, it's gonna destroy this 6 slot, but hey, look. What the fuck? I needed a lot more fucking Meseta than that, jeez. You might be saying, Morph, you should go into your storage and grab the Meseta there. No. No. I'm gonna go over here and get these grinders because I can easily sell these and get them back. There we go. And just in case, let me go for 2 mil instead. Now this video is becoming like, but it might be 13-14 minutes. Anyways, go back to here, go to this unit tab, select this thing over here, select this. Let me make sure I selected it properly. Do that, do this. Oh, no, there was a mistake there. No, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do this. Once again, Guardian Soul, Absolute Glare, Mana Rev, Artifactor, Mark Joyo, Returner 5, Crack 5. Yes. 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 We are done. This piece. This piece. It's gonna give me a lot of HP. Yep. That is 300 whopping HP. Now, I am going to keep this unit piece, but I'll just put it into my basic storage now. So this thing has a lot more stats than these, and I think it hits like the 300, but let us see. So in terms of SRT attack, it's plus 335. In terms of SRT defense, 220. In terms of dex, it's 170, HP 260, PP is plus 27. So, PP is kind of the same, I think. No, it's a bit lower. HP is a bit lower on this as well. In terms of attack, there's a gap between it because, once again, Returner 3's here. I mean, Returner 5's here, and it's able to push it. Now, if I did the, what is it? What is this? Angra, it would be able to push this attack a bit further, but no, I'm going to leave it as it is. And not only that, I just forgot that this attack up 2 does increase it as well. So yeah, that's my last piece here. And you might be saying, Morph, do you want to try to do the same thing over here? Hell fucking no. I finalized this damn thing. Do I really want to go out of my way to try to get a Returner 5 on all this? Hell no. Nope. I mean, it would be nice, but if they have a pop item, I'll most likely try to get that if possible. If it's within my, like, wallet range. Well, not using real life money, granted. But if it's in my Meseta or Star Gem cost, then I would try to get it. If not, then so be it. But yeah, this is my last piece I made. This thing just gives me a shit ton. It looks nice. It looks beautiful. Kind of wish that they released that that Returner 5 farming earlier. Or Returner 1 farming. AKA the Extreme Quest. But that is it. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any question, comment, concerns, put it down below. If you do have any questions, like literally you're lost in this process, let me know. I'll try to help you out as best as I can. I will have my Discord link as well, because if you want to have like a private conversation about it, or if you need some help overall, just, you know, send me a message. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.